Be the penny. Be the penny. We're talking about episode 4, season 3 of The Magicians. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin. From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AFTERBUZZ TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network.
Well, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Magicians After Show. Today we're talking about Hey there, welcome to the Magicians After Show. Today we're talking about episode 4 of season 3, Be the Penny. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There we go. Yes.
Just testing y'all.
Yes.
So to make sure you guys are on the ball.
It's the supermoon, as Adrian said, and you know, magic is it still here? You know, it's just a little crazy. Welcome to the Magicians After Show, season 3, episode 4, Be the Penny. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's Karidlane.
What's happening, y'all? My name is Ty Matthews. As always, you can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. Kari, we missed you so much last week.
Yeah. I know, I missed you all so much. I was at Sundance, but you know, I thought of you guys. And then I was trying to stay off Twitter. I was like, I don't want to know any spoilers, and I didn't have spoilers for last week. So
that's good. I'm proud of the internet for not spoiling that for you.
I was glad. The Pirate King, I was wondering, and I didn't know. And that was good. Good spoiler.
We gotta talk about that lesbian Pirate King. I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
Hey guys, I'm Adrian Snow. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow.
And we air this show live, so those of you who joined us live, I hope you enjoyed our attempts at magic.
Live
broadcast.
Right? We're testing
and that's
some
a
things.
reason to join us live if you have no idea what we're talking about, because you won't know. But we do have a live chat going, so if you are watching this live, please join us in the chat. You're our fifth panelist, actually 6, because technically Steve's in there too.
There you go.
And we love to hear your thoughts on the episode. But if you're watching it later, no problem. Comment down below on your thoughts too, because we're super fans just like you, and we want to know what you think. So yes, we finally have a Penny episode.
Yeah.
A little bit of a It's a Wonderful Life vibe, a little bit.
Oh.
It took him.
Well, because it's him watching his life and knowing what people think about him, and he can't
see
interact
that.
with them.
Okay,
I
I've
can
never
see that,
seen It's a
sure.
Wonderful
A
Life.
little more permanent
Chucky did it too.
consequences.
Yes.
With
Oh,
this,
yes.
which I think makes it vastly more interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, totally.
It's a Wonderful Life was a little bit more hypothetical than
Yeah.
this.
This is true.
This is
thank-
what might
Yeah.
happen.
Thank God for astral projection, because otherwise he'd be dead.
Dead.
Now, I have a question about that.
Oh, that's true.
Like, would
Well-
he have lived if he were in his body still? Because,
If he was just like toughing it out through the pain.
Yeah, like I don't know if he died because his his spirit at the moment of curing was not a part of his body. I was wondering. I have a lot of questions about how this is gonna work now.
Right. It's technically not a spirit,
but either
it's like a projection of
right.
his mind.
Either way, Astaroth said they called him too late.
That's also true.
I do like that when Penny's like, "Don't judge," and the guy's like, "It's all good."
No shame,
Yeah, he's
bro.
like, "No shame, bro.
Get out of here."
Oh, dialogue in this show is amazing.
Truly.
I do appreciate that the show picks up right where we left off on the last one. You know, don't waste any time. I love that he points out, he's like, nobody's crying for the mourning of him.
That whole montage of just like, all right, how does this person react? How does this person react? Q just.
It was nice to address that the character of Penny's mildly underdeveloped, and so the fact that nobody knew anything about him made sense because we as an audience don't know much about Penny.
Mildly was putting it so nice.
Yeah.
Penny is like hardly ever here. We have zero backstory, as Adrian mentioned before the show started. We haven't met his parents or Margo's parents. I hope we fix that soon. Someone in the chat earlier was talking about how the voice in his head, Penny talked often about how that kind of raised him. So it'd be interesting to see
how the
if...
beast.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting
yeah.
to see if perhaps, he is that estranged from his parents. But I loved seeing Penny here. Living his own life.
Yes. Carmen in the chat, I agree that was one of the best lines of the episode. Margo, I guess I always thought someday we were going to bang Penny, and he's like, me too, girl.
Me too.
The wistfulness of that exchange.
That was so good. And then later in the episode, I agree, Joelle, we were kind of like, kind of want to ship Margo and Penny.
Look,
No offense to Katie.
I know Katie is like endgame, but like, God, like,
Is
can
she,
you imagine them
though?
on like a tryst?
Ooh.
Is she?
I do have a lot of questions.
He's not even in the books.
Okay.
That's true. That's
wow.
true.
I also feel like Penny and Katie might be one of those couples where it's like we love each other a whole lot, but together it's not good for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or, maybe they'll be better like 20 years from now. They would be the perfect couple for each other.
Right.
But right now, Margo might be more fun.
I just really think that they would have fun. Like, a good like 6-week relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
6-week situationship. We ordered Indian food, we had sex, it was great.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you
That's
go.
all you need.
Then we have I do like that they had that like super dark lighting for once he was kind of the afterlife, but it's also break bills without magic. Too.
Sure.
And then post-apocalyptic library, right? Because it's like
Just getting
Yeah,
raided
that
by
kinda-
cannibals.
that threw me a little bit.
Skipped a bit because we don't
Yeah.
really know. I guess we don't really know where the librarians have been. I assume they were just at the library.
Or where
but
they
it seemed
fled
like,
to, yeah.
Yeah, they must have fled. So I was.
We know
surprised to see that.
at least
One.
one of them was eaten.
This
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the introduction to chaos. We saw kind of the island previously as like an organized sort of chaos.
Right.
Somebody was controlling the fear. And now that we see that magic is gone, and obviously on Earth we're seeing institutions fall because they don't have it anymore. It's interesting to see how the magical realm is now trying to process.
Yep.
We got a little bit of it when they were in Philarium. They're talking about money and like paying taxes and trying to grow food for the first time for real.
Well, even Alice's parents, she's like, oh yeah, taxes. We haven't paid that on this house.
Nuts. So yeah, I hopefully we get more next week on the kind of chaos that's happening just in general.
That'd be nice. Yeah, it'd be nice to expand upon that world because we're just getting these little glimpses, and then you just kind of go, "Wait, did I miss something?" And
What I like is
it's
that
cool,
every
though.
side story in this episode could have been a full episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Which is
I-
nice.
Nuts.
I am all in on the adventures of Penny and Hyman.
Yes.
Yeah. Hyman.
He's like, did that mean something different before? What are you talking about?
I appreciate that they did that with the other characters because we don't get enough Penny, and usually when we do see Penny, it is kind of like all these things have happened to him and we haven't really seen it. So it was nice to see that happen to all the other characters, where it's like Hyman sitting in on Q and
Julia?
Yeah, when
talking
he's all
to the
watching.
dean and all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. It was just nice to get that opposite view for once.
Yeah.
It was the female librarian. No, I don't. Renji says, which one do we think it was?
It
I thought
definitely
they
was
said
a lady
he.
librarian.
Oh, they said lady?
Yeah, but I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
I don't think it was the one that
I don't
we've
think
been
it was
I
on.
hope not.
I don't think it was her.
She seems tough as nails, even though she's
And
very polite
resourceful.
and about the rules. Yeah, so I feel like she'd be good out.
Could she lock herself in the poison room?
I forgot about
Like the
poison
dark, all the bad dark spells room?
She'd be dead too soon.
That's true, but
Is
I
she
don't know.
past death though?
But if to get away from them, yeah.
Because
we
I don't know a lot of the librarians.
That's
like
true.
he served after death
Yep.
too. So
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like you said, like the existential crisis that was triggered when Alice said, like, hey guys, eternity's a lot longer than a billion years.
I was like, oh no.
That messed me up too.
For so long, I was really messed up. Like, I watched it this morning. I'm like driving to work, like, oh my God.
Right.
Like,
that's some Black Mirror shit.
I think eternity. I think a billion years. Like,
No.
the idea
You're like,
of
no.
it's so much longer. Like,
A billion years
billions
is
of
nothing
years.
compared to eternity.
And I started thinking about that Futurama episode where they like just are in space watching the universe implode, and then it comes back, and I was like, this is too much.
Well,
I can't.
Because like eternity is endless zeros. And billion, you get to a certain end. I don't know what. I'm very tired. I'm not going to sit here and be like, and a billion is 10 zeros because I don't know. I'm tired.
Well, even a trillion, wouldn't touch.
Actually, good question. Leo in the chat says, but does the poison room still work with no magic?
Oh,
Ooh, is that door unlocked? And they're like, yes, we can get all those books we wanted.
Yes, because Penny's cancer still worked without magic. Like, wasn't that the whole thing? There was a whole thing that Quentin said earlier about how like his father's cancer was inherently magic,
yeah.
which is why he went into remission when magic was gone, which made me curious about how Penny's cancer worked then.
That's true.
Right.
Go into
Different types of cancer.
But
with
he could
different
also
sort of...
travel, though, right? Even when magic was gone?
Yeah, because traveling is like a separate thing.
Yeah.
But then we discussed, are they human?
Yeah.
The travelers, yeah.
Probably not. just
Probably
because
not.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
any
exactly.
non-human beings that can still have some type of magic.
Yeah. Then, yes, we get the entertaining cannibals with Elliot and Finn and Faye running and... Or no, not Faye. I was like, sorry.
Frey.
Ben and Frey.
Finn and Frey.
Right.
That was interesting of how they tried to deal with those. Because what do you do with cannibals?
Loved that moment where Penny's like, don't eat. And I'm like, oh man, he's really eating like
Yeah, I
a
can't
red
stay and
right
watch
now.
this. I have to leave.
That part, they have a part of that in the Walking Dead video game.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
If you guys know, you're like, don't do it. All right. Then we have Alice and Q doing their dad chat, and how later Penny's like, dude, everyone has daddy issues this episode.
Well, and I love that moment at the beginning of the conversation when
yes!
Penny thinks she's talking about.
He's like, finally.
And then she's like, he always used to let me ride on his shoulders.
Wait,
He's like,
really?
You're like, what?
what?
Even I kind of was like, oh wait, her father.
I didn't
Right.
think she was going to say shoulders at first. I was like,
Oh, boy.
when did I miss this?
She was about that in front of Q.
Yes.
I did like that the person who missed him the most was the map guy. whose name I
Yeah.
can't
Oh,
Her
remember.
best
Benedict.
friend.
Benedict Pickwick.
Yeah, but who was like, he's my best friend. And Penny's like,
All right.
okay.
Yeah. I like this thought. Nicholas in the chat says, I thought the truth key was going to tell Elliot something shocking about his daughter.
The fact that it didn't is kind of shocking.
That it didn't
point.
yet.
Yes.
It didn't yet. As Tisma said, maybe it still will.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really look at her when he was looking around
That's
for
true.
the truth. So.
We did not get a linger now.
No. Then we have the discussion of, is it worth bringing magic back because of like the dad's cancer, and like did they cause so much damage?
The answer is yes. If
Yes,
you can have
it's
it,
better.
you should.
Well, that's sort of, that's the mission statement of the whole show. Is like, is it even worth it to do all of this shit?
I think so.
With all the bad stuff that comes with it.
Yeah.
But there's so much good that can come with it too, as
Yes.
was proven last or second episode with the teacher. Yes.
Yep.
Lipson. There we go.
And then the Penny hopping along the bunny, the trip to Fillory, that was pretty funny. Like
my goodness.
gonna ride the bunny messenger train.
Catching a ride
Yes.
with money.
You know what's frustrating is like Penny's so disassociated that he hasn't even learned about the bunnies yet.
Yeah,
Like
he's like, what
everybody
is
else
this?
is getting bunnies and like stuff, and it's just Penny's just like out
He
there.
doesn't
floating.
even realize that there's a quest going on. I mean, albeit
true.
he was dying of cancer.
Yes. Well,
But
okay.
still.
I guess this is kind of a question. We've talked about we need him, we need that character more, and then we as an audience don't really know him well. But they do point out that he himself kind of steps back from everybody.
I
But
think
is that a plot device? Then we don't
been
know.
like really, the whole point of Penny kind of is that he's just very abrasive
Yep.
and difficult to get along with, and does keep people at like an arm's length. But
Yeah.
I hope through death that maybe he starts to let people in, because that has to be, like, as an actor for Arjun, hard to sustain, and two, just as an audience member, it's hard to enjoy 3 seasons of someone being like not
away from
reachable.
me.
Yeah, they can only
Yeah.
withdraw
Angry.
for so long.
Yeah.
I'd only be nice around Kate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something and that's probably why he has been kind of underwritten, because it's like you're not really doing him. It's like being Newman on Seinfeld. Like, can you imagine if you had to see Newman every single episode? You'd be like, I can't watch Seinfeld anymore because Newman's there every single episode, and I cannot stand him.
So we hope he has better growth after this point. Then. Yes. We're like, okay, yeah, you've learned something. Let's move on.
He can still be like Penny, but I mean, like, let people in.
Then, okay, so kind of going forward, but the good point, Chat's talking about how when Julia touches the keys, we see the fairies. She did not.
Behind her because she's not looking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So does that mean all those lights were fairies working in the house? Which is weird because it was stored up energy.
No, it was just stored up magic. Those were just fairies. I think the fairies
I don't
were
think
just...
the fairies are doing any
Well,
magic.
because when
watching
Penny came in the room, those two light sources were there, and then the fairies were in the same spot.
What lights?
Was that the same spot?
Yeah, when Penny gets in there, he sees light
There were some weird,
by
like, orange
the
lights.
objects, right?
Right.
So when
In the
he
room.
follows her into the room, there's two light orbs, but not doing anything, and the fairies seem to be in the same spot.
So interesting. So then, if that's the case, we learn multiple things about it. So first of all, the truth key will show you where the fairies are.
Yes.
Which, get that key to Margo right now.
Yes.
So she can eat that queen's heart. I'm very much looking forward to this scene.
Best line.
Oh, dude.
That was
Great line.
Yes.
Second of all, what is Penny seeing on his astral projection? Like, it seems like perhaps then because I was confused by those lines too. I'm like, this feels very Star Wars for some reason. Is it a hologram door? I wasn't understanding, but it makes sense that they were representative of the fairies, and it also makes sense that then he can see them in his astral form as he currently is, which is way cool. Everyone get back to Fillory so we can end these fairies now.
yes.
I don't think you can see the fairies. I think they might be on a slightly different plane than Penny.
I mean, they might only show up as lights, or do you not think those lights were fairies? Do you think they were something else? And if they were something else, what the hell were
I
they?
didn't even realize that. I have to go back and look at that episode because I didn't see the
Yeah,
light.
they're really bright lights. Like
sucks.
close,
I watched it 2 times.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's one of those. The visual editing made it seem like those two light sources, we had seen other light sources, and where they were, the fairies appeared after she touched the key. So, but then I'm like, so are the fairy slaves in this house, that they are the magic that's stored up? Because then that's interesting too, of like, wait a minute.
Like they
what
were
does
the
that
ones
mean?
that were
Well,
like
and
sleeping?
Yeah.
Well, and look who he was too. Like
The McAllister family.
Yeah,
abusive
and then
dude.
somebody said maybe they are part fairy family.
Or, well, maybe it's something where because the fairies often talk about how, like, they get rid of any talk of them when they took over Margo. What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, finish your thought.
And then, maybe it's something where that particular man, Mr. McAllister, figured out how to control them or take them.
Well, McAllister even says right before he murders his kid, like, hey, you're talking about your mother and her family, and you think he gets
And the
killed. The kid's like,
truth.
I have the truth. That's all I did. He's like, the truth could hurt us. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were family, and maybe that's what he was blabbing about. That seems like a lot of coded information not to bring up
Could be.
later.
Yeah.
It's one of those hard to
they
say.
made it sound like it was just simply about him being gay.
Right,
but
right.
It
could be
probably
both.
is more than that.
But
yeah.
we've seen this season has been full of doublespeak and coded
Yes.
conversations.
Yes.
So.
I think it'll be one of those just as we move on. We'll find out. So then we have, poor Katie shooting up, and yay for Julia getting her weird coded messages from people to go save her.
We get like
Who
a
is
weird
giving
like
her messages?
You get
This
that light,
was
though.
really weird. So with Hyman here now, there's like, at first I thought it was like he's seeing everything. I thought, oh, like Hyman is jumping into bodies, and he was like, oh no, it's really hard to control some of the mind. I wouldn't even attempt it. So now I don't think it's him, but somebody else
Penny
is watching.
saw it, and
Yes.
this time where it happened like last episode,
It was just an old
it was
lady.
just the old lady. But when it happened to Todd, there was like a light.
Yes.
It was I would call it a god light.
Yeah.
That came down.
I
So,
didn't notice that.
It was like
I
a
was
green
wondering
light that
if
was
it
shooting
was-
down.
So
That's
there
what
are
Penny was
some
like,
light
what?
things happening, trying to give us clues about what's going on. I'm curious now to go back and watch previous episodes and see if there's maybe some secret lights we missed before.
Do we think it could have been the goddess who gave her help after she didn't kill the son?
I don't think so.
I don't
Only
know.
because like
Because she's like, I thought you'd be further by now. Or the voice is
Right.
like,
That's
supposed to
that's
be
the thing.
further.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of who would be
Who would care?
sort of like have such an exploded view to see her.
I think
on her-
it's
on her
Persephone,
path.
but I
Right.
mean, the god. So
Yeah.
because that would make the most sense just by how it keeps happening, and we haven't seen anyone interact.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen the fairies do anything
remind
like
me
that
of
before.
Persephone's main story in Greek mythology.
Persephone is dragged down to hell for the winter. She spends it with Hades as his wife.
Goddess of the harvest.
Yeah, and for the spring, she's allowed to come back up to Earth.
Interesting. Because to me, like, if they were... I don't see how it connects to Persephone's, like, larger persona. Like, I get the forgiving. I'm sorry. I get the forgiving. I get the enabling powers. Like, that all kind of flows with her story of giving and returning and all of these other kind of themes. I still, like... We know we had the... I want to call him the plumber, but that's not the right term.
Yeah, the plumber.
That's what we call him? Okay. So he came and turned it off. We know that there are larger... Like, it feels like they might be caught in a god war right now. Like, with the step-by-step quest. Maybe we have gods on either sides who are trying to decide whether, like, Earth is worthy. Like, especially, like, one human champion gets to decide if everybody gets magic back.
The ones that are angry with him are the Titans. And the Titans are the parents of, like Hades, because Persephone isn't in Greek mythology technically a goddess. She's like a human, I believe, that Hades takes as his wife. But so they're not necessarily following the strict mythology of Persephone, at least the Greek mythology, at least. But I would assume it was her only because I've always thought it was like one or the other, her or Reynard. Yeah. And judging by the kindness that's being displayed towards Julia, that's why I think it's her.
A couple people in the chat are pointing out that maybe Julia is or is becoming a demigod. What do we think? Because she had the light in her chest, too, when she did the powers. Now, how she became that way, up for debate. What do we think?
I mean, it would have to be from Reynard, wouldn't it?
I would think.
Or
whatever this other force is.
I hope it's from Persephone. I do not want Reynard to give her anything.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess that wouldn't surprise me. I don't know why I'm so adamant about her not being a god or being god-touched. Yeah. I just like the idea of Julia just being the chosen one. I want to Neo her. I want her to be just the person who just happens to have it and and has to make all these really tough choices and calls. I just think it makes it much more interesting than like, oh, it's a god.
Sure.
But this show always finds a way to make things interesting one way or the other, so I'm not really worried about it.
Well, speaking of interesting, then we also have Julia not telling Q about the messages she's getting, which was interesting because you're like, why aren't you telling him? Because he's like, how did you know? She's like, I don't know. I had a feeling.
Well, let's talk about Margo's, Katie's overdose. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That was pretty intense. And
Julia's sort of like magic defibrillator kind of.
Yeah. It was amazing that she could even do that, honestly. Because we haven't really seen her do much magic. Well, we know it's magic, but we haven't seen her.
When they did the battery. Like if she had any residue
from when
that
they summoned Astaroth?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe. I think it's something where...
But that's bigger than what she's been doing.
Because it was such a big thing that maybe she was able to channel more magic. But we haven't seen her do anything more than like the sparks and like the smoke ring.
Ooh, Kelly-O. In season 1, a couple of the characters were talking about how magic comes from pain. And who's been hurt more than Julia? Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah, definitely.
Good point.
Oh, right, my bad. Persephone was a goddess. She was daughter of Zeus.
The sort of...
It's been a minute, y'all, since I've read Greek mythology.
So with that said, kind of like the amount of magic that she has stored up is directly proportionate to the shit that she's been through so far.
Yeah,
maybe.
That could
Interesting.
be.
Possibly, yeah, too.
Tismoy? Not sure if I'm saying that right. What if Julie's getting stronger because as the keys are found? That's true.
Oh, maybe.
As they get more keys.
As they sort of unlock more chapters of the book.
Yeah.
You do see her powers growing. We see her doing more and larger things. They're clearly getting closer to their quest. We see the clock in the next episode. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And then we talked a little bit about him, but holy zerts, how much do we like Hyman?
So much!
The pervert ghost of Breakbills.
Hyman Cooper, yes.
A pervert named Hyman.
The pervert ghost of Breakbills is such an incredible title.
He's like, haven't you heard of me?
And he owns it.
Oh, yes.
He's so proud of himself.
It doesn't get the irony of the name Hyman.
All peeping all the time.
Alrighty.
That's how he explains it.
I love, I'm sure the writers just had a gas, looking up old phrases and things from that generation.
The duck's nuts. He calls Quentin the duck's nuts.
That can't be a
Even
thing.
does a gesture, too. Some big nuts.
He was great, and I wouldn't mind if we stuffed him in a golem or if he became, who's the pot-smoking wizard?
Oh, John? No.
Who, Josh?
Josh.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind if Hyman became like a Josh who just showed up.
magician,
Josh,
as
yeah.
he
Yeah,
describes
they
him.
call him the
Magician.
Oh my God.
And he had some great one-liners or one words. He's like,
He really did.
twist.
Yeah.
No, it was good
He was
stuff.
like kind of like the audience or
he
something.
Totally was
Yeah.
the audience. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun to watch him be like, shut up, my show is on.
Yes.
And
Basically.
then he had
Watching
or even when he's like, I don't know, they're looking for something I missed a bit because they were outside of the house.
Yeah.
I would love to come back and explore another storyline with him. That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Just get like a little mini web series. Where it's
Is
just
he
like
stuck
him.
only in the house though? I thought he can leave though.
I think he
I think
can.
he can go
okay.
around
He just
break
didn't
bills,
follow them.
but I
Yeah.
don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know how far outside
Yeah.
of break bills he
He
can
could
go.
probably.
Right.
He probably just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's also
Because Penny can go pretty much everywhere. But
Yeah.
chooses to.
And then we have the cute moment though, real quick, of Q and Julia, and then even Hyman kind of narrating that they have a thing, and he's totally shippy. And he uses
yeah.
ship though. He's like, I would ship them.
I gotta say, Tiswa in the chat also used the term rafting when we were
Yes.
talking about Penny and Marco earlier.
Not shipping, but rafting.
I dig that.
So is that like a lighter shipping?
Yeah.
It's a
like,
smaller.
I hope they hook up, but I
Yeah.
hope they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, I dig it. We're rafting them. And then we get the orders showing up too, and then how that they're gonna sell break bills. I mean, that's now and then later in the episode too.
Oh man, it's gonna be
Yeah.
really interesting to see
Yeah.
what happens.
Oh, it's actually been sold. Yeah, they said
Yeah.
Irene. That
Well,
it's
at the
been
end,
sold.
well,
Yeah.
it's up to McAllister, the
Yes.
woman, Irene McAllister,
Right,
the one who
right.
runs the
Yes.
Enchanted House, who's also
Yeah.
like the granddaughter or daughter of the guy we saw, the
Yeah.
ghost, abusive guy. And then the order, we're talking about the librarian order? Where they
When
come
the
in
order showed up, yeah, they were
Okay.
like, "Hey, sorry, I combined two things." And he's like, "Yeah, so we can get Penny back,
Penny
and we can get a
sold.
corpse eater."
Right, Penny Soul
Yay.
didn't report to the underworld.
I was
for-
a little upset that we didn't get to see what a corpse eater looks like.
I was curious, and it's a woman. I was like, "I'm gonna see her."
It was probably just a woman.
Just a
And
regular. I thought
then
That's
she
what
was
I thought.
really-
Just
See, I picture-
dislocate her jaw like
Yes.
a la Beetlejuice style
Yeah.
and just feed him into her
I
mouth.
pictured
Yeah.
like a giant caterpillar, but with teeth on the bottom, and just like I eat your soul. I don't know.
No, I definitely, I'm
Yeah.
with Adrian. I anticipated just like a normal person, just like,
Yeah.
all right, where's your corpse?
And they were probably
Yeah.
like, we don't have the budget for that.
Yeah,
So
yes.
let's just
Uh,
set them on fire.
Tismoa says, I noticed in the comments on a previous video, someone mentioned that the keys could be related to the disciplines of magic.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we
interesting.
mentioned. Didn't we mention that last
Well,
time?
Nicholas
'cause we're
Stormy makes a
talking-
great point that they could be kind of comparable to the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Well, we're talking
I
about what are they,
am
and I think
floored.
Adrian, you brought up maybe that they're representative of the characters as well.
Yeah, just
Because
because
we have 7, don't we? The Conqueror, the
Wait,
Torture
we talked about the
Artist.
second episode.
Yeah, but bringing that back again, like,
Yeah.
but now it could be the disciplines as the other option.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
also assumed because it seems like
Just-
certain people can easily or are attracted to certain keys. So like how Elliot's key, the thing that can unlock everything, and he is so far because he's the only one who's had it, has been using it the most. And then it seemed like Julia had a really strong reaction to the second key. So I kind
Danny
of assumed
McAllister says there's only 6 disciplines, but I feel like if there's gonna be if there are only 6 disciplines, there might be a 7th. Like things are changing. Like
could be one
magic
we
is
don't know
dead,
about.
and
Yeah.
there's a lot of things going down.
Yeah.
So I feel like when they do. They will bring magic back. When they do, I think it's going to be a much different world than previously.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that's kind of the point is that the way to get magic back is to discover like the 7th discipline. It's like when you're watching a movie
Yeah, totally.
and
That's your
they've
quest.
only known these 5 things and they go, but wait, it's like when you realize that the whatchamacallit in Harry Potter, the whatchamacallit that's inside him, the whatchamacallit Horcrux, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Like when you am I spoiling? You should have
No,
been.
you're
You
good.
guys
Yeah.
should know Harry
You're
Potter
good.
by now.
I like Leo
Wait, didn't you
Lima
do
says
the post that
battle
came out
match.
20 years ago
Right.
or something?
Yeah, but the fact that you don't discover
Yeah.
until like towards the end that 7th part is actually
Yeah.
like him.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So Leo Lima says battle magic should be the 7th. And looking at the keys that we have,
I would buy that.
Yeah.
and looking at the keys we have so far, it looks like we
Truth.
have knowledge and illusions so far. So we
'Cause
still need
technically
psychic,
the-
physical, healing, and nature.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. Wouldn't truth be? Or I guess truth is knowledge.
Truth, I guess, would be the knowledge. Well, they literally call this one the truth key.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Jumping over to kind of an ability, too. We have Penny trying to become the object, and how amusing was that?
Become the penny.
Yes,
Be the
be
penny.
the penny.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But he flipped it.
I mean, that was cool, but my favorite was when he became the Margolem.
Oh, the Margolem was so good and creepy.
Quentin was really working some issues out on that
Zombie,
golem.
yes.
I had a lot
Oh.
of questions. I'm like, are you mad at Margo? Are you just scared? Or is there like, is this because you couldn't
Yes.
express?
I was like, maybe take a minute and see what's going on.
Yes,
Like,
right?
don't just hit stuff, Quentin.
Speaking of taking a minute.
If I saw that thing coming at me, I would hit the shit out of it the exact same way.
I
I would not ask questions.
The walking
keep
wouldn't
it
bother
away.
me, but the minute it started making that like otherworldly noise, I'm
Yeah.
like, that's
Seeing
evil
those
and it has
eyes,
to die.
seeing the
It did
eyes
seem
do
like
The
a
that
zombie.
thing.
eye was like,
Yeah.
Nah.
yeah.
Briefly, while we're on cue, how did you guys feel about his reaction to Penny's death?
Wait, like
the
when he
laugh.
laughed?
The laughter, I get that.
I get it, and I like that he points out awkward reactions because I
Yeah.
know people that if something's upsetting, they've laughed
Yeah, I've done
and they're
that.
like, "This isn't funny," but that's and
I
they're
don't know
like,
what
"I'm
else to
sorry,"
do.
but
It's that church laughter when you know you're absolutely not supposed to laugh. That's the time where everything's funny.
It's true.
yeah, it's just your body like freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Margo ruffle. Oh, Margo did have a thing with Quentin. They had their one night thing though, so
Or the threesome?
deep-seated issues.
Oh yeah, with
I
Elliot
don't
and
know.
Margo and Quentin.
I'm reaching here. And then we have we mentioned zombies last week. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Margo, though, okay, Margo was her moment of queendom when she's like, "This is the plan." I was like, yes. When she talks about she's gonna go back, get the bricks, grind them into dust, put it in her bathwater, and rip her heart out and eat it. It's like, yes. I was one of those standing ovation. Thank you, Margo.
It's a lot.
my
It's
queen.
easy to talk about it.
That's
It's
true.
Yeah, it's
hard
very
to
easy
do
to
it.
talk
That's
about
Can
it.
we let Margo loose in the White House? Did I go too political? I just want to set her free. Just be like, go.
Yeah.
Get him. You got it.
Oh,
girl.
and then the eye, too, of just like, well, now you can't spy on me anymore. I think she got used to it being gone, though. That, I mean, maybe she was holding out to get it back, but
I think we're going to discover that the fairies aren't as bad as we think they are.
I'm starting to see that too.
Just because
as in
of
not
last
as
episode.
evil, or what do you mean?
Yeah, especially from last episode when they have their rules and they
Yeah.
talked about them being like a tribal matriarchy.
Yes.
But I got the impression that the fairy queen isn't necessarily trying to,
Because why not strike
Make
Margo
Margo
down?
into a slave.
Here's why. Okay, look. Why not strike Margo down right there? She's like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a minute to think about what you've done. And it doesn't even seem like to me like you destroyed your own eye, girl. Like, what are you doing? Like, if I said it last week. She's like Jigsaw. She's like, if you would just play my freaking game, I'm trying to help you.
It's true.
The fairy lights there make sense. It wouldn't surprise me if fairies were able to easily jump into people with brains and control them because we see they're really good at knowing a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And fairy lights, it just makes sense to me. I'm seeing it.
Oh, that's funny. Sorry, random side note. Nicholas in the chat said, I bet the bunny could see Penny, but didn't feel like telling anyone. But do they just talk? I just feel they
I
only
kind of
relay
felt they were
messages.
like walkie-talkies too.
Yeah,
Well,
they
I
don't-
feel,
I
I
could
feel like
implant a message.
I feel like bunnies only say exactly what they're told
Yes.
to say. Like
Yeah.
they can't say anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're basically they're the cups on strings.
Yes, they
of-
don't
of
relay
the
new
magical
information.
world.
Yeah.
Totally.
I bet the sloth could see Penny though if they were in the
Probably,
Yes.
probably.
because the sloth can see
Her sluggishness?
fairies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Tismoy, I think, agrees with you, but also that they're not maybe as powerful, the fairies. But that's why they
yeah.
want to run things behind the scenes.
That's also why I got the impression
Okay.
that the McAllister character had figured out something about the fairies, which might explain why they might be actually the magic running.
Yes.
Well,
in
and think about the
if it's not
task
just magic
that they have her doing. Like, they wanted her to plant all those inedible mushrooms by hand, and they were like, and it needs to be your hand. Again, just looking at magic and the way it tricks you into doing things, it seems like maybe that would have been something that could have helped you. You just couldn't see how yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know. Well, we'll find out, hopefully. Then we learn about the Code 7, which is a suicide or explosion. Hard to say.
One of the two, same code.
Which was neither for him. Possibly if his dad killed him in that moment.
Well, his dad had to break bills, though, so it makes sense. Like,
They probably
Oh, they
they
just
probably
called
covered it up as a suicide.
Yep. Then we get the West Dorm. West? I was like, I thought it was North, but
No,
yes,
the West
West.
Dorm, yeah.
Buried, and we have the ghost, which isn't all that bad because Silly Hyman was like,
Lance?
it's horrible.
Lance
yes,
Morrison, yeah.
Lance Morrison. And but no luck for Penny of trying to like use them. But good plans though. He should have tried another word though.
He
like,
should have just not been Penny in that moment. He
Yes.
was being too hard of Penny. This is why
Yeah.
Penny lost the ability to his hands last year.
Yeah.
It's like, Penny, calm down. Don't attack this kid. Just be
Right.
like, can you just say this? Can you just
Yeah.
say Penny real quick?
excuse me, sir, could you do me a favor?
Right.
Could you just say the
Real
word
quick.
Penny?
Just
This
say
guy was
say it.
actively killing his son. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
No. Before the father came.
When
was
he
talking to-
when he first
first
encounters
again,
Lance.
and he
Oh.
like bullied Lance. I was like, no.
You did come on strong there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, came a little harsh. Then we have the Irene. Yeah, we had that and the key. Oh yeah, it was interesting though that they didn't want to tell Irene about Julia having magic. That Quentin's like, yeah, it's me.
Right,
Oh,
playing
I
the
think that's
distraction.
smart. Like,
Oh, yeah.
again, look
Yeah.
at her
Yeah.
family. Look at who she is.
Yeah.
Also, you have all of this magic and you're using it for martinis. That's dumb.
Yeah, his little olive trick.
I
yeah.
have so many questions for her. Like, you don't want to save that for something more important?
Right?
You're just cleaning your
Yes.
house with this? Like,
Right.
pick up
Yeah.
a broom, you lazy ass.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust her with a 10-foot pole. Like,
And
you
who
did
knows what they
nothing.
would have done to her if they would have like taken her and like
Yeah.
tried to do some type of weird scientific experiments on her to cipher her magic out of her. So yeah, it makes sense.
And then rewinding a second because Chat was talking about it a bit more, but good point. How much did we like that when the dad was like, "That's not a real name for Penny"?
That's the thing he's hung up on, is Penny not being a real name.
But isn't Penny a name? I guess it's mainly a name for women.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
At that
Exactly.
point in
Yeah.
time.
It's
Yeah.
a name, just not a male name.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, I was like, no,
Yeah.
I've heard that. Like,
Yes.
some
Uh,
Scott Fitzgerald thing.
yeah. Then we have the Alice and Katie little chit chat too with the burn the body or not, and Penny's like, nope, be the candle, and burns his body.
Still find it interesting that Allison feels the need to lie so often. It's now first nature to her, which I find really interesting.
Yep.
Whereas before she was very curt. And I guess maybe now I'm questioning like how long has she been into like did you guys feel in seasons like 1 and 2 she was more frequently honest?
Well, what are you saying she was lying
Oh,
about?
she says, well, he was my friend. And she was like, yeah, but girl, y'all weren't this close. Like, you didn't spend a lot of time together. She's like, you're right, we weren't friends.
I don't
Like,
know
I
if
just
that's-
know what that situation is like.
I don't know if that's her being as blatantly dishonest as just like trying to sympathize. Like,
I think because Allison has seen more of the world. I mean, I think also when she was in If and Time was different. I think she kind of alluded to that, how time moved differently. And that she's trying to be understanding. She has an idea of what eternity looks like on someone versus a billion years looks like on someone at this point, probably.
Yeah.
For all we know, she's maybe have lived for a billion years as an infant, you know? But
Yeah.
That's something where I think that's actually trying to be sympathetic and understanding and being like, well, this is a better deal.
Yeah.
Than an eternity
Yeah.
strapped to your body.
because I feel like this is different than when she was telling everyone, like when she was withholding what she did to the Lampreys family.
Yeah.
Yes.
When she was like, that was definitely lying to kind of like
Yeah.
save face.
Yeah. And-
But yeah.
Yeah, I hope Alice, I mean, I understand she's been through a lot and then she's a different person, but she needs to work on her people skills.
But
and
that's
how to
always
talk
been the
with people.
case. That's
Yeah,
just,
since
But
day
she
one.
still does then. Like,
well,
yeah.
Well, her time as an infant definitely didn't do her any
No,
favors.
it
No,
did
no,
not.
no.
Yes.
Respect.
And I mean, there are people that are socially awkward, but it's just something she might want to work on because she's part of a group and having to talk with them.
if you think about it, they all have some type of weird
Yes.
social
Of course.
That's true,
Yeah,
they all
all of
do.
them. Yeah. This is, the Breakfast Club meets.
Yeah.
They aren't
Yeah.
exactly, the cheerleader
Right.
of the high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. And then we get Elliot and family shows up at Breakbills. Yay, they make it through. And touches the key. Oh, hi, Penny. And cut. And you're just like, ah!
I love a good
That was a
smash.
great
That was such a
ending.
good ending. That
Yes.
was a great
So-
ending.
Because you just kind of like, I feel like as an audience member, you kind of given up, like, oh, Penny's just stuck. He like set his body on fire so that he wouldn't have to go to the underworld and nobody's gonna see him. And so for it to just be so casual, and of course to be Elliot,
Of
who's
course.
like,
Hey,
And the
he doesn't
delivery-
know.
Well, yeah, he's the only person who doesn't know that Penny isn't
Yeah,
dead.
exactly.
Too.
Right.
So all that comedic build up, the idea of not switching the camera too much. It was like medium shot to a wide shot of the whole room to that real nice tight medium on Penny. I love this whole ending, but also it killed me inside. I'm like, but what happens? Because now we have so many questions. Like, Penny's body is gone. So does he?
Are we recasting?
You
better
not recast Magician. Oh, I would be so angry.
Shall we do some predictions?
Yeah. Let's do some predictions.
Yeah.
It's a short show tonight.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
It went by fast. And later. Yeah. No, Isaiah says we forgot about Elliot's dad. No, we said that Elliot's dad was there.
Yeah, his magic cancer went into remission.
Yes.
We touched on that.
No, Elliot's dad. That was the scariest thing ever.
Oh my God! Feeding the illusion of his dad to the cannibals.
We didn't talk about
that
part.
Yeah.
That was cathartic.
I really enjoyed that. I'm a little upset that we didn't get to see it, and I hope that Ellie gets more catharsis out when he sees his dad in real life.
Yeah.
Great casting job.
Yeah. And then that's a really good one too. Jordan in the chat says Margo thinking Penny and Elliot are in heaven blowing each other. I like that Penny's like, say what?
Penny's reaction's just like, but no, girl. What?
I like the idea of a penny golem.
I do like that too.
Interesting.
Or because it could kind of be.
Well, it'd just be he just needs a shell.
Because we've already had an Elliot golem.
Yep.
And
a Margo one. And you just need something that looks like you and
it's
that you can inhabit.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't go into water.
Right.
Yes.
Don't go into fire.
You want to, if it comes 100 degrees, you need to move inside with some air conditioning.
You don't want
anybody? Any specific predictions anybody's
I think when we come back, the Dean is in a very drunk stupor. He is not doing good. Poor guy.
Yeah, downward spiral.
Yeah, no, but kudos to that actor, because before he gets to any of the lines that would legitimately indicate that he's upset, I'm like, he is off. I was very I'm like, what's happening here? I was like, oh, he does not know what's happening to his life now.
Yeah.
Right.
He hates his life.
God,
I don't know where it's gonna go from here. I'm curious as to have I think I would really like to see what they're gonna do in regards to the Penny situation.
Yes.
And who finds out and when? Do they all find out in that moment or?
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, I want to see the third key. And I also kind of want them to go on this... I mean, I guess they're technically on the quest, but I would like them to get to, the fantastical parts
more
of the
magic aspects of it. I want to see you back in different worlds.
A big part we didn't really talk... Well, this was last episode, but I watched two together. I wondered if with the ships that they now keep the pirate ship and the ships can be together.
I hope the ship burns it. Why would you want the ships together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to write
No,
that.
we gotta
get
burn
that ship the hell out of there.
That was and leave. So I was wondering if they would...
No, burn it down.
Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
No happy relationship there.
No.
It's purely
No, not at all.
Down with fire.
But it's different owners now, you know?
That doesn't change the nature of the ship.
That's true. Mm-hmm. It is a pirate ship, yes.
I don't know. I think if I were to predict anything, it's that it's going to take a hell of a lot more than a ground up brick to stop the Fairy Queen.
Yes.
For sure.
I think, here's my thing. Banking off of some of the things we've discovered throughout this episode, and obviously we're still guessing at a lot. My guess is she gets a lot farther than we think she will, but that turns out to be a horrible thing.
Right.
I think
monkey's paw.
Yeah, exactly. I think she does, get a good swipe at the fairies, but I think that they're there to help or get them to the next moment.
They're even protecting them from something much worse.
Even worse,
Oh, interesting.
The fairies bring gifts. Again, if we just go to larger myth, fairies can be unscrupulous and yes, sometimes they steal babies. That's a thing. But they also bring gifts and light and things. So
Tinkerbell, yo.
I don't buy. I still don't buy that these fairies aren't 1,000% evil.
It's just because they have beady eyes and are pale.
The magic, the fairy dust.
They've done a whole lot more than just. It's not like they're sitting here being misunderstood
They
here.
just took a couple toes. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, her line where she's like, "I'm trying to run. I just have wooden toes."
Yeah.
I'm fully okay with believing these fairies are awful. Real quick on the fashion tip, Did anyone notice Penny's lack of a tie knot?
That was
Just
an interesting
straight up-
tie.
I super dug that.
I've never seen anything like that before,
No.
but it created such an interesting line.
Well, we've
Yes.
seen so many different kind of
Cool
variations
knots.
on the
Yeah.
tie knot. We saw Dean Fogg with his kind of trademark
Mm-hmm.
knot, and then Penny's, it was just no knot. It was just
It was
straight,
interesting. I like
straight
that.
down. It was
What
really
does this
interesting.
Yeah.
say? Because is this a commentary on the lack? Because we know that the costume designers are like wicked into what's going on. In fact, they give Margo a purple dress this episode, which is the color of like Margo's really coming
Blue.
into her
It's
queendom.
blue.
It's blue.
Was it?
Yeah.
It's not purple.
I think it was like a purplish blue.
It's pretty blue.
Yeah.
I was like, no, Joelle.
I'm not even
But I also think the tie might maybe be symbolizing something about either the loss of magic
Yeah.
or
Sure. Yeah.
I was thinking that
Oh,
too.
interesting.
Yeah.
design. I'm curious.
I doubt this
wasn't
is
even
going to
looking
happen, but
into that.
weird one. Nicholas in the chat says, how long before Margo tries to seduce the fairy
Hopefully
queen?
never. I don't
No.
want to see that.
I could see that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
She doesn't. She despises the fairy queen.
I don't think that
Yeah.
would necessarily preclude her from doing
Margo
that.
does seem like a person to actively enjoy hate sex, which is for some people, but not for all people.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely up Margo's
Maybe.
alley.
Never mind then.
But I don't want to see that, so
Yeah.
Right.
please don't do that to me. Ew.
Any other thoughts on the episode? Anything else we missed?
More Hyman.
Oh, predictions about the librarians.
Yes.
Something is going on. Because it's weird to me that they have like an active member being able to search for people. Like there's still some kind of order in there. So what
Yeah, that's
happened
true.
to this library?
Yeah.
Like it seems very this
Oh, other
library
branches.
specific. Right. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So maybe it's not total chaos in the world, but something happened at this library. And if this library, why that library?
And do they have any magic reserve?
I don't know. But they do
question.
have certain people's books that we know about. So
Well, all those books in that library, that branch had all been burned or used as toilet paper
Just
or
toilet
eaten.
paper.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Then Tismoy said they moved their headquarters. Could be. That's true.
They mentioned something about it early on when Penny first comes
Yeah.
back, but I can't remember. It was something about how they went so far underground or something that time
Yeah.
moves slower.
Yes,
So,
that's true.
yeah.
Could be. Cool. Any
Yeah.
other thoughts on the episode?
Nope.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for watching our coverage of The Magicians, episode 4, season 3. Be the Penny. That was just so funny. I was like, come on and concentrate. Where can everybody find y'all?
I'm Adrian Snow. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow.
hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com. And this coming Monday, February 5th, at the Scum and Villainy Cantina, we're doing a blurred meetup. It's Pretty Brown and Blurdy, Nerds of Color, Geeks of Color, Black Girl Nerds. Jay Washington is gonna be there. Nerd Soul's gonna be there. So you're like all of the LA-based nerds are going to be at Scum and Villainy on the 5th. You want to be there? I think we open the doors at 7 and we're rolling to like midnight or 1. It's gonna be a party. You should definitely join us. They have South African whiskey and a Wakandan sunrise drink. Proceeds will help kids go see Black Panther. And then after we do that, we're gonna donate the rest to Ava DuVernay's Array, which helps give people of color an opportunity to make the films that they've had in their heads for a long time. So we'll come down and support your community and enjoy Black Panther with some fun people.
Sweet.
Oh boy, I don't have nearly as much to talk about. Guys, my name is Ty Matthews. Y'all can find me on all forms of social media at Ty Matthews PMA. This is the only show I'm doing right now, so check me out on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays, 4 p.m. Check your local listings. Watch some wrestling.
Yay! And then my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And a special thing this week, leave a comment down below on if you trust a fairy queen or not. And I have 2 different nail wraps from Espionage Cosmetics. One is a treasure map one. These are super cool and easy. I've worn them on other shows. And then the other one is fairies, and we'll randomly give them away to one of you special viewers. So leave a comment down below. Do you trust the fairy queen or not? And then we'll go through and go from your...
On YouTube.
On the YouTube video. If you are listening, you need to go to the YouTube video. Again, thank you so much for watching and joining us in the chat. It is awesome to have you here, and we will see you all next week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.